Insta360 just dropped their brand new flagship webcam, the Link 2 Pro, which is the upgraded version of the Link 2 I reviewed previously on the channel. It's still a 4K webcam, however this time it's targeted more towards creators and live streamers, with its bigger sensor, dual native ISO and HDR, better audio, and a couple more tricks up its sleeve. So today we're gonna go through what's new and, more importantly, is it worth the upgraded price tag? So just like the non-pro version, these also come in two variants. The Link 2 Pro with the gimbal and the static Link 2C Pro. Hardware and software-wise, they're almost the same, with the only difference being the gimbal that is present on the Link 2 Pro. For that reason, I'll be focusing mostly on the general features and functionality, as they're basically 99% the same camera. The box contents are exactly the same as the previous generation. You get your webcam, the magnetic mount for your screen, a USB-C cable, and a USB-C to Type-A adapter. All the features and functionalities of the webcams we'll be talking about today can be controlled through the Link Control software, which you can download directly from the Insta360's website. Since the new lineup is called Pro, then you're probably expecting better image quality. And, well, you'll be right. Like I already mentioned, the Link 2 Pro and the 2C Pro come with a bigger 1 and 1.3 inch sensor with dual native ISO, basically allowing the camera to capture more light and output a much cleaner and less noisy image. Here's a side-by-side with the original Link 2 in the same lighting conditions, so you guys can see the difference. It's not just the sensor though, you also get a larger field of view compared to its predecessor, basically capturing a wider angle. This can come in handy if, let's say, you're a streamer and you have a nice backdrop you want to show off, or if you're teaching online and you want more room for a whiteboard or props. Coming back to the image quality, in low light, the Pro is definitely superior to the non-Pro, and it actually comes with HDR mode enabled by default, so you don't have to go digging into the settings and ensure proper highlight and shadow details in difficult lighting scenarios. Since most streamers have RGB all around their rooms, I even tested it with different lights, and you typically notice the image quality getting a little noisy or blurry, but the Link 2 Pro is actually doing a pretty decent job keeping the colors and image as close to natural as possible. Speaking of streaming, there's actually quite a few cool features that can help fellow content creators out there. For instance, both webcams now work with Elgato Stream Deck, which is huge. You can set up all your needed commands and switch between presets on the fly by simply pressing a button without having to go into the Link controller software. All you need to do is download the plugin from the Elgato Marketplace and you're good to go. Besides that, there's of course the standard natural bokeh effect, where you replicate a DSLR-like depth of field when you're sitting in a place and you want the focus to be on you. And then the phase detection autofocus feature to show off products or items to the camera. For best results when presenting items, I recommend positioning your hand behind them to help guide the focus. I mean, it's second nature for most of us at this point, but besides that, the webcam detects the most important thing very well: your face. You also still have background blur and virtual background options if you don't want to show your room, but what's new and really cool for streamers is the new green screen mode. Compared to the standard virtual background, this has much more accurate edge detection, so you won't see as many weird artifacts around you, especially in low light. And honestly, this is like the perfect solution for anyone who uses a green screen and wants to have a custom background that they can change on the fly. At this point, I'm starting to think that Insta360 might be moving towards competing with OBS in the near future. You can change the background color or let the software auto-detect it and adjust the parameters to your liking. One thing to note is that you will need a dedicated GPU for this feature to work. You need at least a GTX 1050 Ti or faster, otherwise the green screen feature won't exactly work. The better the graphics card you have, the smoother the experience will be in higher resolutions. But yeah, this looks sick. Now, when it comes to the main feature of the Pro with the gimbal, which is AI tracking, there wasn't noticeable difference in terms of the snappiness or accuracy compared to the Link 2, but it still works really well. You again get single or group tracking if you have the Link 2 Pro, and for the 2C Pro, it's just auto framing because the webcam cannot move to follow you around. It just uses zoom and moves the frame to center the speaker and the people who come into the frame. The tracking and zoom can be controlled with the same gestures as the Link 2. You basically hold your palm to start or stop tracking, flash the L sign and move it up or down to zoom in and out, and the P sign to activate whiteboard mode. That one's mainly for teaching use cases. It basically just enhances what you're showing on a whiteboard. What's also new now is the tracking area. We previously only had the pause track area feature, where the webcam pauses tracking when you reach a certain angle that you predefine for it to stop at. Now you can actually define how much the camera can follow you around in general. Let me explain. If you step away often or you don't want certain parts of your room to be visible, you can define the edges of the whole tracking zone. This means when you have AI tracking on and you want to go grab a drink from the kitchen, you don't need to use the hand gesture or turn off tracking in the settings. You can simply get up and go about your business. As soon as you're back within the frame, the webcam will restart tracking you. This is something that was missing on the Link 2, so I'm really happy that they've added it with the new flagship. I mean, I personally don't want to show the mess in my room, or let's say projects that I'm working on when I'm streaming, so it's the perfect feature for me. Of course, pause track area and tracking area features are exclusive to the Link 2 Pro only and not the 2C Pro. Insta360 completely redesigned the whole audio system on these mics. It now includes an omnidirectional mic, a directional mic, which basically gives you dual mic setup, plus directional pickup and AI noise cancellation on top of it. This system essentially lets you switch between a natural voice pickup and directional noise suppression depending on your environment. There are a total of 4 pickup modes. Okay, so there's standard and original for the omnidirectional pickup. Standard balances your voice with the background noises in the room and focuses a bit more on speech. Original doesn't process the sound and instead keeps all the background noise intact. Both of these modes basically pick up everything happening 360 degrees around the webcam. Then for directional pickup, there is wide, which basically covers a wider area in front of the webcam while still suppressing noise. And this is great for like small meetings or group streams. And then we have focus, which is perfect for very noisy environments. And this uses a very narrow pickup zone directly in front of the camera to isolate the main speaker. This means if I step outside of this focus zone, it will start to suppress my voice because I'll no longer be in front of the webcam. So here I am outside and the mic from the webcam so you guys can hear the difference. If you work in an open office or just have a lot happening around you, this is a solid feature to have. All right, with all that said, I'm gonna be honest, this is definitely not for everyone. But if you're very serious about streaming, if you're a teacher, content creator, or maybe even a presenter, and you want a basic webcam setup, and you do have a bit of extra moolah, the Link 2 Pro is a solid option. The features you get for the price are absolutely crazy, and I personally don't know of any other company that includes so many features, and useful ones at that, within such a tiny package at $250. And if you don't care for the gimbal tracking and you just want a static 4K webcam with the same pro image and audio features, the 2C Pro is a really nice option at $200. Check out the Insta360 Link 2 and the 2C Pro through the link in my description section. And if you're one of the first 10 people to use the code on my screen during checkout, you'll also get a free mini tripod with your purchase. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.